On September 15th, 1963, it started as a normal church morning at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama. But in a deadly burst of dynamite, it became a seminal day in the civil rights movement and in the history of this country. 4 young girls were killed when a bomb exploded at the church. Carolyn McKinstry, then 15, survived the bombing. She's featured in a new documentary, March to Justice.
I heard the rumble of the thunder and the explosion, and I heard the glass come crashing in, and someone said, "Hit the floor." And right here, I fell on the floor. Everyone in the church just fell on the floor. And it was deathly quiet.
Reverend Carolyn McKinstry joins us this morning. Reverend, so good to see you.
So
the 50th anniversary of this bombing comes up in September of this year. How vivid are your memories half a century later?
The memories are very clear in my mind. It was as if it were yesterday.
And what do you remember about those little girls, those 4 girls, 3 of them age 14, one of them only 11? Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yes. What I remember most is that they were laughing and combing hair. My last site visit of them, you know, when I passed the bathroom. But I was very close to all of them. Cynthia's father was my principal in elementary school. Denise's dad taught me in 9th grade. So we were close to these families. I mean, we were intimately involved, the families and the children. And we were excited that day. We had a club meeting that would have taken place after church. So that's my last memory, just seeing them there, combing their hair, excited about all that the day was holding. It was also Youth Day.
It was Youth Day, which meant you and those other girls were sort of running the service that morning.
Yes.
And that's why there were so many little girls, I guess, close to where that bomb exploded. You know, being there in 1963, you felt the fire hoses. Part of your home was damaged from a bombing across the street from your house. Can you describe the climate in Birmingham in 1963 for people who weren't there, who weren't alive, or just don't know the history as well?
Well, this was a very dark and difficult time. It was described by many as a place of hardcore resistance, but primarily I saw it as a city that had a lot of hatred. And because of that, we witnessed these bombings, all types of other crimes against people that were very frightening. It was a frightening time if you were a young person growing up, because you never knew what the day would bring. Sometimes I would tell people that bombing was a way of life in Birmingham. The church bombing was just one of many. In fact, the records say 80 bombings had occurred by the time we had the church bombing. But we had become used to the sound. When we heard it, we knew what it was, and it was a way of life. It was very frightening and so forth, but the memories are still there.
And that day was a catalyst nationally. The Civil Rights Act is passed the next year. But what did it mean to your life personally? How did it shape the path you took from the moment of that bombing forward?
This event represented a very pivotal point, not only in the life of our city and nation, but for me as well. I think it was the point at which I decided, as best you can at 15, 16, but in later years it would be something I would never forget. But it was a pivotal point in that I decided that I would try to do as much as I could to change the world, to show that we could accomplish so much more with love and kindness than with the hatred.
Well, the film is great and it's important, and I'm so grateful that you're here to share the story of those 4 little girls. Thank you.